We're going to talk about comfort zone. And the first question I have, but what is actually the comfort zone? So many people are talking about it, and so many people have very strong opinions about that it's a bad thing, or that you need to step out of it, or some people say, well, it's a good thing, but what is it?
A great question, Nisande. The quickest answer I can give, it reminds me of a couple quotes. There's one quote that says, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So circling back to what is a comfort zones are routines, are habits, are things that are certain, that you've done over and over again. And basically what the comfort zone is stepping out of that comfort and certainty into uncertainty. And what does that mean? So specifically, realistically for life, I break it down into three areas: your health, your relationships, and your finances. However, if the trajectory is not going so well, and you're not feeling the most healthy, the most energetic, the most confident in yourself, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So that change is saying, you know what, it's time for a plot twist in my life. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and do something different. If I hadn't had the courage to bring up a conversation with a business partner over 15 years ago, which became a business partner, that partnership never would have began. And so internally in our mind, there's that conversation, should I or shouldn't I? And that in and of itself, when you know what you want and you're clear on, yes, this is mine to do, you step out of your comfort zone, you do it, and that puts you and your future on a whole different path and trajectory.
Well, I agree with all of this. I want to add something because I think it's important, at least that's how I feel, that I think that part of our comfort zone is, this is the area where we feel that we have some kind of control over reality. It's not real, and we discover it very, very soon as something goes wrong, but we have that feeling that we have some control about it. So for example, I'm very, very comfortable driving my normal car, which is pretty new car, and it's very safe and very stable and everything, and I feel very comfortable driving it anywhere. But when I needed to take an old 40-year-old shitty car that we found in a junkyard and take it over 20,000 kilometers all the way through the Mongolian desert, I didn't feel comfortable at all, because I didn't feel that I have any control over what's happening. It can break down in any moment. The roads were horrendous. The parts in the car kept on falling. So that part of being in control wasn't there anymore. So I felt outside of my comfort zone. But I think that the point that when we want to move to the next step, to is it bad to have a comfort zone, or how do we get out of comfort zone? It's also good to remember that this control that we're feeling, or that we're assuming that we have, is not real. I mean, something can happen also with a new car, something can happen in a small little village. So it's not that we really have a control. It's just because of the familiarity, and because we created what you call the routines and the patterns, that we feel that's that kind of, I'm doing it for so long, I'm doing it that way, then I probably know what I'm doing, or I'm in control of that. So that's something to look at. Why do we have to get out of the comfort zone? What's wrong with that? What's bad about the comfort zone?
Well, the great answer to that is those here watching this. So you watching this, you already are sharing with Nisande and myself that you are recognizing and seeking to be the best version of yourself, right? So you, just by participating here and watching this, are seeking to be that better version of yourself. So here's my premise on that is, you're perfect and awesome and amazing right now as is. However, you also recognize, if there's a little stick figure, and you are right now, that stick figure that you are, perfect and amazing right now. However, I know, Nisande knows, there are things that you can do, start doing, do more of, do less of, and stop doing, that can help you grow and be a larger version of yourself. And one small improvement each day, a year from now, is a totally different person than you were. And if we look back on our life, you being a seeker, or else you wouldn't even be here, you're totally different today than you were a year ago. And the worst thing that could happen for me, you, Nisande, is to wake up a year from now and be the same person. And so you are here stepping out of your comfort zone right here, right now, because you're watching something that helps connect some dots and lead you to that larger version of yourself. Are you willing and bold enough and brave enough to go down that venture of becoming and being the best version of yourself that you're capable of? And if so, stepping out of your comfort zone, controlling that chatter in your mind to take those steps that may feel uncomfortable, are a secret weapon to get you from where you are to where you want to be.
You will get very clear messages from life, if you want, from the universe, from whatever it is that you want to call it, when you are too long in your comfort zone. Because when you're too long in the comfort zone, then you're going to start decaying in a certain way, or you start plateauing. And the signs will come that, hey, it's time to move on. So if you start feeling that you're stuck in your life, well, that's probably a sign that, hey, it's time to move on. When you feel this urge to grow, to expand, to explore something new, well, that's a sign that it's time to move out of your comfort zone, or at least look for a way out. When you suddenly get the idea that you want to achieve something big, something bigger than you ever thought about, then, well, that's a good sign for that. And many times we get inspired by it. Maybe we see a movie, maybe we hear about a person that does something amazing, and we say, wow, I wish that I could do that. That split moment is a moment of awareness that, hey, there is a place for me to grow, there is a place for me to move out of my comfort zone and trying something new. And many times we just squash it in our lives. And is there a place that is too far, that you're stepping too far out of your comfort zone?
And that's a fantastic question. And I too misinterpreted that years ago of, stepping out of your comfort zone, that means you got to do something crazy. Go to a large soccer game and streak across the field naked. No, that's not necessarily stepping out of your comfort zone. That's doing things that are going to come with penalties and going to come with consequences. So when they catch you, you're going to get kicked out of that arena. You're probably going to have some charges on you, and you'll have a story to tell, but that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about stepping out of your comfort zone. And I'm smiling as I say that because I'm known for many years ago doing something that many people are scared of, just speaking on stage. I actually spoke on stage, not streaking naked, completely naked, but in the Borat mankini on stage in front of roughly 500 highly successful entrepreneurs. And that was a large step out of my comfort zone. Yet it didn't cross into boundaries of me getting arrested or me having a ticket. It got me recognizing that I had a goal to get on that stage. There was an opening that I seized that pushed me way out of my comfort zone. And I took it, I seized that opportunity. And all these years later, even though Bob Proctor and many of the most well-known speakers and presenters in the internet marketing space spoke at that event, I'm the one that was most memorable. And the presentation that I gave was the power of stepping out of your comfort zone. So exactly on point to what you asked, is there something too far? Like, this isn't about being, a lot on YouTube. And so, as Nisande said, when you have that feeling, it's that inner chatter. And even though your mind is telling you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it, you're like, you know what? I just feel that it's mine to do. And that is what we're talking about when you step into your comfort zone.
For me, there is a place of learning which is beyond our comfort zone. So if I'm looking at the comfort zone as a kind of a circle where we are most of our life live there, and when we want to step out of it in order to grow somewhere, then we go to the next circle, and that's where new experiences are, and that's where my cold shower was, and I learned so much about myself from that, and I saw so much about my superpower and about what it does to my health and what it does to my awareness and what it does do to my energy, and I decided to keep that after that because it's just a fantastic process. So I grew as a result of that. Now my comfort zone is bigger. Right now I'm taking every day 5:30 in the morning, cold shower, and so that's the zone that is just beyond our comfort zone. That's the learning zone. But I also found out for myself at least, and I think that's for more people, that if we go too fast, too strong, too extreme, let's say, in that direction, we might move out of the learning zone into what I call the panic zone. And in the panic zone, there is fear and there's anxiety. And there's, for me at least, the way I notice that is that it happens, I'm getting into a fight or flight mode. And in fight or flight mode, all my energy goes to survival and not so much to learn and grow. So I think that every one of us can recognize when it is a place where it's just not comfortable and it's challenging and it's confronting and we're learning and growing while doing it, and when it becomes way too much and we're freezing or we're panicking, and then I would take it one notch down. And then when our comfort zone is established now bigger, then we can expand it to the next step. For me, what I realized is that when I become comfortable in what is uncomfortable, then that's a tremendous place to be. You become unstoppable, you become invincible.
And in stepping out of your comfort zone, you become comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's controlling the mind, and in essence, following that intuition, that feeling of knowing what's yours to do. And when the mind jumps in to try to prevent you from stopping it, you say, hey, thank you, mind, for trying to protect me, but I've got this and I'm moving forward anyhow. What I have done is have conversations with my mind when I know I'm supposed to pick up that phone and call that person if I'm serious about that desired outcome that I'm seeking. And my mind tries telling me all the reasons not to do it, or tries to throw in things that I could do to be busy instead of doing that thing that I know is mine to do. I kind of step back and objectively recognize, aha, mind, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to protect me from pain and danger and rejection. I appreciate that. However, this is congruent with the desired outcome I have, so I'm going to choose to do it anyhow. And then I give a countdown, and I just say, okay, I'm doing it in 3, 2, 1, go. And that helps me make that commitment. And when I do that with consistency, I don't default on it. Once I've made that decision, I'm going to do it anyhow, and I'm doing it in 3, 2, 1, go. I step into the cold shower.
Cool, very, very cool. I like the 3, 2, 1. I'm going to adopt it. I have a different process, or a little bit of a different process, so maybe it's good that I share that too. So for me, first of all, is when I come up with an idea or that I need to do something, I make a decision, and I don't let time passes between the decision to the implementation to actually doing it. And I think that that's what makes it. If I would let myself think about it and pros and cons and create strategies, how can I do that and how can I bring myself the courage to start doing it, it will never happen. But when I'm deciding quickly and I'm implementing quickly, that happens. I call it speed of implementation. When I met Vera, that was 26 years ago, we went on a date, and when we came back from the date, we stayed together the night, and in the morning I moved to live with her. And that was 26 years ago. So there was not that hesitation, not let's take it slowly, let's think about it for 3-6 months, let's date for a while and see, maybe we can move together. No, it was like straight from the beginning, and it works. Okay, and if it doesn't work, that's even better, because if it doesn't work, I know it doesn't work, and I can move on to something else. I don't have to wallow or to stay too much in something that is not giving me what I really, really want. So the shortening the time from decision to implementation, that's the first one for me. The second one is something that I learned to do quite a few years ago, and since then I'm doing it religiously. It's whenever I commit to something, I commit in front of people, and not in front of 1 or 2 people, and not just in front of my loved ones, but in front of the whole world. When I wanted to do my first marathon when I was 40 years old, and I was a couch potato before that, and I never ever did a sport in my life, and suddenly I decided that within a year, in my 40th birthday, I'm going to do the New York Marathon. I just stood in front of, I don't remember, about 100 people in a workshop, and I just said, this is my goal for this year. I'm going to run the New York Marathon in November. And by doing it, I'm getting lots of support, which otherwise I wouldn't get. I'm getting a lot of people that are naysayers or belittling the goal, whatever it is, and that's, for me, it's wonderful. I mean, just give me that. I mean, I just need those people that will tell me that you can't. I just would love to prove them wrong. But it also keeps me accountable, because people keep on asking me, hey, how is it going? Are you getting closer to that? So that's, for me, is a very, very powerful, and I'm still today, I'm doing the same strategy. The third part is that I'm just training my out of your comfort zone muscles. So I'm taking regularly challenges on myself. Right now I'm taking every first of a month, I'm taking a new 30-day challenge. So if it was the cold shower, if it's the one that we had last month, which was complete the incomplete, I have a new morning routine that I'm doing religiously 2 hours every day for 30 days. So when I'm doing it for 30 days, at the beginning it's hard, and at the beginning it's uncomfortable. At the beginning I don't feel that I have the control or the safety even in that. But the more I do that, and the more I do that every single day without missing, this is very, very important for me, not to miss a day. Then at the end of the 30 day, I feel that, yes, now it's in me, and it becomes easier to that. Now it becomes my new comfort zone. It just expanded my comfort zone.
It's fantastic. I mean, I love it. And the last part especially, because as you step out of your comfort zone and then you get into doing that consistently, now your comfort zone's grown. It's no longer outside your comfort zone. And so it's a never-ending process of continually expanding your comfort zone, which led to a whole different path. So you listening to this, you got some great examples with what I shared and what Nisande shared. Where is your life stale? Like in your health, in your relationships, in your finances. You can determine a plot twist with a choice. One single choice can change the trajectory of that particular thing, your health, your relationship, your finances, or any other thing that's important to you. Just because you've been doing a certain thing a certain way doesn't mean that's what has to continue. And that can be you. You can be that person who just says enough is enough. Like, enough of me settling for this particular area of my life. I know I'm capable of much more. I feel this on my heart that's mine to do. Go do that. And that's part of what we're doing here, is opening our eyes and hopefully your eyes to the power of stepping out of your comfort zone.
Thank you. Well, that's for you. What do you choose to do to step out of your comfort zone and change the trajectory of your life? Let us know in the comment box below. And thank you, Tom, and thank you for watching us. This is from Tom in Florida and from me, Sunday in Tenerife. Live fully, stay awesome. Bye-bye.